TCL, Scorpion72 here, and today take a look at DC Comics, DC Collectibles, Icons, Firestorm. So I finally got my Firestorm. Here he is in the window box packaging with all his accessories, which includes two hands and his effects. We'll get to that. There's a closer look at him. On the side it tells you Firestorm. It's based off the Trinity War storyline. On the top there you just got his symbol, insignia. And of course on the back here you have all the other figures in this line. They're all available except for the last one being Static Shock, which is delayed all the way until April. So without further ado, let's open up the package and see what Firestorm's all about.
Alright, let's see. Scorpion72, as I mentioned in my beginning intro, I know. So we have Firestorm out of the packaging. I have to say, this is probably one of the best figures from the DC Collectibles, the DC Icons line that's come out thus far. So paint apps are amazing. There's no blemishes on mine whatsoever. It's very crisp, very clean, I like the shiny red they did. I thought it'd be a little bit more shine on the red here in his back and here a bit, but it does shine through if you get it on the right part of the light. It's like these like little gems or something in here or something like that. It really doesn't look like paint apps because it looks like there's a see-through plastic in these. And the big one also goes the same, it's just painted a little bit dark. So that's really cool. And they have the flames, which are really nice. They're really hard and rigid, so careful, it can be kind of sharp. We'll go through articulation. I see his head's on a kind of ball joint, can look down, kind of look up. And if you watch any of my videos, my biggest thing is that people who fly or in general should be able to look up, and that's my main thing, is that he does not look up. So hopefully that can be fixed in the future. Arms can go outwards, downwards, forward. You got swivel in the bicep, double jointed elbows, swivel in the wrist here, the cuff of his glove and his wrist, and it has the ankle, the wrist pivot and everything as well. Upper body chest movement here, so you have an upper body swivel from side to side. Here you have the ab crunch. Cannot really go down too much and can go back a bit, so that kind of helps if he's going to be flying or something, but not by much. The legs are different. So on these latest ones that came out, the leg pivot, the legs can now go a little bit more outwards, like for sitting poses or if you want to get them in a crouch pose. Plus the other thing is that they got this extra hinge here, so when you go like this you can tug down on the legs to get a little bit more outward kicks and stuff. So this is going to work great, especially for the new Batman coming up. You'll be able to get a nice range of motion with your legs, do some nice karate kick poses or any type of pose that you can get them in a chair and stuff like that, which is really cool. So I like that. It's kind of like the import Japanese animation figures. One thing to note is that be careful when you're pushing on the paint. If you push a little too hard, you could leave a little line or something. It's not very visible, but you can leave a little bit line in the paint. Double jointed knees. He has no boot swivel, which I'm surprised, because all that was shown at the very beginning when they started this line. They say, hey, you get boot swivel and stuff. Remember to show you all the articulation diagram there? So I'm surprised he doesn't have any boot swivel, but I guess it would mess up here the actual sculpting of the figure. Nevertheless, he has ankle pivot and ankle rocker. So really well done, really cool. Now, upon saying that, he's a little problematic when it comes to his accessories. He actually comes with, let me see if I can take these out. He actually comes with his nuclear kind of like atom swivel blast here, like effects, and he comes with two clear hands which are open. He is packed with two fist hands, so he doesn't have any gripping hands or any holding hands, seeing how he really doesn't hold any weapons and stuff. He's more of like he can change non-living objects to any type of other objects he wishes. That's one of his Firestorm's powers. So how this works is two ways. In the little instruction paper, I show you a way to like how to change the hands and arms. Like most icon figures that are when you do buy them and stuff like that, they come with a little instruction sheet showing you how you should remove the pegs. As I've been saying, you take it straight out, I'll show you for the Joker, to show you the combinations that you can do here with John Stewart. And to say on the back here, it's Firestorm all by himself, showing you how to change his hands and how to use his effect hand and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat doing this too. So if you just want to have the clear hands, you just pull it out straight and then you put in the clear hand. So there you go. So you have the clear hand. Now if you want the effect also, you have to pull out the whole arm, and you could, not the whole arm, but the whole like cuff there, the bottom, I forgot the name, the name is losing, below the elbow in other words. So you pull this whole thing out. Now this has a little bit of a groove type thing. There's a way to put in the hole. When I first got mine and opened mine, it's very hard because it seems that the hole is very small, so you have to really wedge it in there and stuff like that. So that's a little problem here, is that you're afraid that you might bend it the wrong way and you don't want to break them. So it takes a little twisting on and you get that on. Same thing goes for the clear hand. You have to be careful because if you push the peg in wrong or too much on one side, you could snap it, which I'm trying not to do here. So you gotta get a firm grip, and there you go. At first I thought the effect wasn't fitting properly for mine because I've heard people have trouble with this, but as you can see, pretty neat, pretty effective. Now also another thing too, if you want to just have like a fist hand here instead of having a clear hand like he's firing a blast, you just pull this out, take out the corresponding fist to the right left hand, and then you push this in. And see, I gotta be careful because I don't want to break them. And there you go. So you can have the little effect here on the side and still have his fist hand like he's ready to punch somebody, and he has the effect there with it. So what I'm going to do now is just show you a little like before and after. So here we have the Firestorm, and then we have the one from DC Universe Classics. As you can see, the difference in paint apps, because this is based off of the I believe the new 52 Firestorm. Let's see here. And another thing you might notice, as I do have them standing as straight as possible side by side, is that it seems that the later figures are not that far off in height to these figures nowadays. So he's just about maybe half an inch shorter than the Firestorm that came out from DC Universe Classics. And in case you're wondering, does this effect work with the Firestorm from Icons? The answer is kind of a yes and no. It does go on, but it doesn't go on properly due to his hand being out like that. And if you put his hand, like bend his hand like he's in a firing position, like he's about to fire like a blast, and then put this effect over, it's kind of loose, but you can kind of still get that effect there if you wish. If you do have this figure, or if you've gotten, say, the, what was it, the Total Heroes one that they had on Maddie with the extra hands and heads and stuff like that, the effect is a little bit more clear, so you can use that one if you do have that one in your collection, so you can get that kind of look. Also, since I'm on the subject of height, we're going to go through things. So you can tell that they have been adjusting the heights that has been bounced around to factories after factory to improve the figures and stuff. And you could tell right now from wave 1 to wave, I think this is wave 4 now we're at, that the height has changed. They have gotten bigger. As you can see, there's a very big difference in the Green Arrow compared to Firestorm, and that's not just in height, in width and everything. So hopefully, thank goodness that a lot of these characters that we do get do have different eras and different change of costumes and stuff throughout the DC universe. So we probably will get another Green Arrow in the near future. I don't know how, I wouldn't say near future, but hopefully in the future that would be in scale with the figures that are coming out now. Because even if you look with the Batman, now we all know Ronnie Raymond, whichever the Firestorm person this is, because there's a few of them, We know he's a teenager, but there's no way he should be towering over Batman. Like, look at that. He's like literally just towering over Batman. So hopefully the 5-pack will change that and or correct that in the height, and hope they're not using the same buck for the same buck for that 5-pack as they use for this Batman. Hopefully they've changed it and adjusted, because I really am a Batman fan, and I do have my little limits when it comes to Batman being shorter than especially some of the other people. Even with Superman too. You know, Superman and Batman are kind of the same height, but next to him, he's still a little bit tall, but he's not that far off. Though the flames on his head could be a little bit tricky, he could basically be a height. It's just the flames are throwing off, but you can really see the difference with the Green Arrow, as I just showed you.
So as DC Collectibles start to get their footing with the height and articulation of these action figures, it might bother some people that there's height changes like right at the beginning. Right at the beginning, the midway through a collection when you got like 30 figures already in the bag. Nevertheless, it might bother some people. Me in particular, like I said, I don't mind as long as they adjust it quickly before we get too much into the roster. Just look at a good example of height changes of different heights that don't match is Marvel Legends, as those of us who collect that know. And I'm not a gambling man, but there's no way DC Collectibles is only going to give us one Batman. Especially with the Rebirth 5-pack coming out due in March or April. I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments in height and or articulation to the Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, maybe even Aquaman, that box set. So I wouldn't be too worried. As long as you have it all in the bag and ready to go, I say give me more icons. Give me lots more in 2017.
So Firestorm, I got a little late when he arrived there in my comic book shop. So, but he should still be available at comic book shops and online retailers. I'm a big collector of the icons. They seem to be getting better and better. Now they seem to be getting a handle on like the figures and the size and the making sure there's no breakage and stuff. So hopefully all now they need to do is keep the delivery schedules on time. And also not cut any more accessories, because that's one of the main things now, is that they keep soliciting these figures with a whole batch of accessories that you're supposed to get, and then when they arrive, their accessories are changed or missing. I think he's coming with everything that was shown, but for example, as my other review of the Joker, you know, the Joker should have a left hand, and as I mentioned before, at least it should have at least I think 6 changeable hands are good enough in total. Meaning the ones that they come with and 2 extra hands. We don't need that many more. These are not hot toys, and I'm sure a lot of us will, or me personally, I would rather more accessories, character specific accessories or something with the character than having like say like almost 8 different sets of changeable hands. Other figures are coming out later on down the line. But the main thing I could keep saying too is that hopefully the accessories do not get cut from what they're showing us, which, you know, all we can do is wait and see. So this is Scorpion72 with a review of Firestorm from DC Comics Icons and DC Collectibles, of course. Thank you to enjoy your toys, and until next time, keep playing. Ciao.
1, 2, 3, 4. I like videos, you like videos. I love toys and you love toys. So go watch some more of my videos. Alright, that's it. So watch more videos. Keep playing.